Respect. Now your genuine love respect page. I hope your day's coming along well so far. You know, trauma will allow you to feel like you can't talk. Dealing with abandonment issues will allow you to feel like you can't speak up for yourself, especially when conversations get uncomfortable. To face your own music. You know, Sometimes we gotta be real with ourselves at the end of the day. Regardless to who just try to paint a narrative as to what didn't happen or what happened or what really just played out at the end of the day. But when you know the truth, you know the truth. At the end of the day, we all know at the end of the day when it comes to certain individuals, the truth hurts. And when the truth hurts from an individual that's not willing to accept the truth, it hurts the person who's dealing with it when they know the truth. Dealing with childhood trauma and dealing with abandonment issues, it's a combination that is just so toxic within toxic of being toxic. Like, damn, when is enough will be enough at the end of the day, especially a child enduring that at a young age. Some people have parents and some people don't have parents. And it's for fortunate reasons, unfortunate reasons at the end of the day. You have parents who don't want to show up for their children. Then you have the parents who do show up for their children. Then you got the absent parent. Then you got the parent that's present. Then you got the parent that's locked up. Then you got the parent that's present. Then you got the parent that's on drugs. Then you got the parent that's not, but they present. Then you got the parent that's on drugs, but and they're present. Like, it's all different types of levels to this shit. Or then you have that parent that's sick. Or then you have that parent that's dealing with mental illness. Or you just have that parent who wants to get help within themselves and they just trying to figure out that find the proper balance and within balance at the end of the day, but it's just too much for them, but they still show up. It's some amazing parents that I came across in my time. Some amazing parents who would never give up on their kids. Regardless to what misunderstanding they had, what they done did, at the end of the day, they got their child's back regardless. They would never sit there and disrespect their child because their child done did the most stupidest shit ever, or their child is trying to identify themselves in this cold world to show for themselves in a healthy way. Or allow their child to feel unworthy of themselves because they conceived that child and they brought that child into this world to love, protect, and to honor that child. You got those parents who go above and beyond for their child regardless to what misunderstanding they both had. Or what a family dynamic just had. Like, whatever that family just transpired and just had, or whatever the case may be, that parent is still not going to stop being a parent regardless to how old that child is at the end of the day. That parent is still going to show up for that child regardless. That child knows at the end of the day, my mother, my father got my back with no excuses. Regardless if I just stress them the fuck out. Regardless if I'm trying to elevate in life and I'm just growing to become an adult, to understand right from wrong, and I gotta learn on my own at the end of the day. But regardless of what I do, as long as I'm not trying to bring harm to my family, or I'm not trying to bring harm to others at the end of the day, and I'm not disrespectful in no shape or form at the end of the day, my parents got my back. My parents got my back. Even if that child decided to say, you know what the hell with you guys? I'm going to move on with my life. You know what? Them parents still got that child's back. They still supporting that child. I'm not talking about financially. Support where you don't got to cough up money to support somebody, but to just show somebody authentic love, genuine love, up close in person, like, yo, that's my child. My child game is today. My child had an interview. Let me call my child and wish them good luck. Let me see if my baby's okay today, because that will always be my baby at heart. Let my baby know at the end of the day, I acknowledge them. Maybe they may be having a misunderstanding self-day with themselves. Regardless to how old they are, I'm still checking for my child. With no excuses at the end of the day. I could be in a hospital at the end of the day. I'm still checking for my child. You know, there are parents out in this world, in this real world, that value their children, that respect their children, that wouldn't give up on a child, regardless of how old their child becomes at the end of the day. They could be 60, 50 years old. Ain't nothing like a mother showing up for their child. Ain't nothing like a father showing up for their child in a healthy way at the end of the day with no fucking excuses. And I say that shit respectfully. Y'all the real MVPs. Even the days when you have misunderstanding self days with yourself, you still fucking show up. Even when you're trying to figure out life yourself, and you still don't want to be a motherfucking parent, but you still show up at the end of the day, and you don't express at the end of the day that you're disrespecting your child within your process because you're trying to figure yourself out, that's unhealthy. To disrespect your child within your process at the end of the day. But you one of those type of parents that don't disrespect your child. Regardless to you're having a misunderstanding self-day with yourself. You trying to figure out how you going to pay this bill at the end of the day. Or you trying to figure out how you going to get from point A to Z at the end of the day. Within your process, you never disrespect your child. That energy hit different. Respect to you. No disrespect. Because you know why? Regardless if you're having a misunderstanding self-day with yourself at the end of the day, you don't ever disrespect yourself. Your reflection, that's you. That's what you brought into this world, so you say, right? You brought them to this world, you could take them out at the end of the day. But your reflection, your little reflection that's blossoming at the end of the day, why is it okay for you to feel like you could disrespect that reflection of yourself? So beautiful, so unique, so talented, so smart. Why you feel like it was okay to disrespect? You know, you got those parents who, regardless if they trying to find balance within balance at the end of the day, of keeping a family afloat, they don't disrespect their children. They don't disrespect their children. They respect their children. Respect is a two-way street. How you want somebody to respect you, but you can't respect them? Not saying be buddy best friends with your child. But how would you want somebody to come to you and express to you how they feel at the end of the day when you allow them to feel unworthy of themselves? Why you allow them to feel like, damn, their thought process doesn't even matter if I even come to you at the end of the day. I can't even express myself to you. Because you so mad with them being mad, being miserable, with them being miserable at the end of the day. You know, you got those parents who try to find balance within a family dynamic. It may be misunderstanding days at the end of the day, but I bet you one thing at the end of the day, that child don't need for nothing. That child had the proper guidance. That child wasn't disrespected within a process of them elevating and blossoming. Regardless if they got their ass whooped a couple of times because they need to get their ass whooped. But I bet you that at the end of the day, that parent felt so fucking bad. And I bet you once that child turned an adult, that shit was done. Those days were done. They valued that bond with their child. They respected that child. They showed up for that child. They waited for that child, regardless if that child became an adult or not. They checked for that child. You not feeling well today? I got your back. You need a couple of dollars? I got your back. You know, it's not about money at the end of the day. You know that, right? When showing up for your child at the end of the day, it's not about money. But allowing that child to feel loved. You know how it feels to be loved? That energy, no disrespect, but that energy hit different when you're genuinely being loved. It do. And I'm a firm believer of it, because when someone genuinely shows you love in an authentic, genuine way, at the end of the day, it motivates you. It's a different type of motivation at the end of the day, and I say that respectfully, no disrespect or no shade. But you see how that family dynamic just happened? It went from, okay, you messed up, you learned your mistake, you fixed it, you corrected. I'm gonna show you the guidelines and how to move and maneuver and all of that. I'm gonna show you the steps. Trust me as well as I'm gonna trust you within your process of you trusting me. You get it? It's respect at the end of the day. It's called respect. They grew to learn each other. They grew to love each other. They grew to respect each other in a healthy way, without disrespecting each other. Without somebody feeling like they gotta take control over the situation and hurt somebody and bring harm to somebody's life. Compared to a toxic situation now, where you have the dysfunctionalness going on. Compared to somebody coming into a household not hearing I love you, not hearing are you okay, how was your day, let alone the thought process at the end of the day, sitting down with that child, mentally getting in tune one-on-one with your child. You know, that trauma ties in information that you expressed to that child, the bad news, and you didn't get that child the help that they needed to get. You sitting there expressing yourself to that child at the end of the day, but you ain't saying shit out your mouth. Besides, at the end of the day, I just allow toxic energy to just develop within you. Just eat it. Just eat the toxic energy. You know how it feels for someone to say they love you and they put their fucking hands on you and fight you like a stranger in the street, and it could be your own fucking parent? That energy hit fucking differently. It's one thing being a child, and from it occurring from your childhood to your adulthood at the end of the day, that energy hit different. It should be no reason why a mother should be punching their a grown-ass adult child or their teenage child in the face the way they do, like they fucking strangers on the fucking street. It's disgusting. It's disrespectful. It's unhealthy. It's unhealthy. You know, they say, I brought you into this world, I will take you out of this world. The only person that could take anybody out of this world at the end of the day is God. Respectfully. Because at the end of the day, we all know your pussy ass ain't gonna do it. You said a whole lot, but you ain't do shit. And that's the problem with people today. It's the disrespect. Why the fuck would you want to bring harm to your fucking kid? Ma'am, sir. Why would you want to bring harm to your child that you brought into this world? I brought you in this world, I'm gonna take you out. That sounds like a fucking first-degree murder charge if you ask me. Second-degree fucking murder charge if you fucking ask me. Attempted murder charge, you ask me. You're fucking exposing something that you're not doing yet. So it was an attempt. You spoke about it. That don't even look good on your behalf. No disrespect. But from a child that come from a toxic home, dealing with abandonment issues, and dealing with toxic energy that was endured within that child because of adults that was in that household or adults that was around that child, and that child blossomed in an unhealthy way, and as that child is blossoming in an unhealthy way, that child's still not getting the genuine love that they deserve. Ain't nobody still saying I love you. Ain't nobody still checking for that child. They making this child feel like they gotta sweat somebody just for somebody to be around that child. And then it's so disgusting to see another adult tell another fucking adult don't deal with a child. I thought it takes a village to raise children. That's a fucking baby, bro. It's a baby. Let alone that's your baby. You can sit there and say, I sleep good at night, knowing your child's in the street homeless. That's disturbing. How can you possibly let those words come out of your fucking mouth and you sleep well at night? I sleep good at night, knowing my child's in the street. And you laid up with who? And what? And where? You laid up with multiple motherfucking people, or you laid up with a clown-ass nigga or clown-ass bitch at the end of the day, and you sitting there saying some shit like that and your child's in the street? That shit don't look cute at all, ma'am, sir. Ain't shit attractive about that. Nothing. You playing in your own fucking face when you just did that dumb shit. Respectfully. Who the fuck talks like that? A normal fucking person does not fucking talk like that. An ignorant fucking person talks like that. Respectfully. You could have a stranger in your bed, sleeping peacefully, comfortably, while your child's in the street. You know what's so funny about this shit though? It's the thought process for me. Because God forbid something was to happen to that child in that street where you kicked them out at the end of the day, and you be the one playing the motherfucking victim. That's the scary part about it. You playing with your own fucking child's life. That's the weird part I don't understand. Ma'am, sir, make it make sense at the end of the day. It's disturbing. It's disgusting. Ain't shit about it attractive. Nothing. Respectfully, nothing about it is attractive. You think you get fucking brownie points for kicking your fucking child in the street? Who the fuck does that? Oh, I get it. That's how you was raised. That's how you was brought up. That's your norm. That's your norm. But then, make it make sense, ma'am, sir. Motherfuckers pick and choose who they want to fuck with, though. Especially when you come from a family of multiple kids. And you always the one getting picked on. You gotta go. You gotta go. You gotta go. Everybody else got a roof over their fucking head but you? What? Yo. Tell me that's not a problem within a fucking problem at the end of the day. But you know what? You a child. You gotta stay in your fucking place however old you are in that person's book. Because you the child. And they told you to shut the fuck up. Yo. Make it make sense, ma'am, sir. The people in the back want to hear you. Speak the fuck up. You know, dealing with abandonment issues, dealing with narcissist parents, dealing with manipulation, or even discrimination. And I said what I just said. Discrimination, yes. Meaning it could be you're disabled or your sexual orientation. Yeah, I said what I just said. Because, you know, they do that too. The discrimination card on their own children. Respectfully. And then they play to the world at the end of the day. Oh, I love my child. I love my child. I love my child. But behind closed door at the end of the day, it's a different ball game. They disrespecting your sexual orientation. And they even disrespecting your disability. Wow. That's your parent though, right? The person that's supposed to protect you from this cold fucking world that you live in. You're supposed to be worried about that from strangers in the street. Not your parent. But unfortunately, you endured that. Regardless to how old you was. It happened. It was an experience. Or your parents calling the cops on you. Just to prove a point. That they got the upper hand. At the end of the day. To prove a point for what? Just to tell the officers, yo, get this person out of my house. And they didn't even do nothing to you. They didn't mentally do anything to you. You just miserable. You're just fucking miserable. Or you ever had that situation where your parents were supposed to give you something and they told you that they wasn't going to give it to you? Or they try to psych you out of your thought process at the end of the day and they call the cops on you? All because they don't want to give you what they said they was going to give you? Wow. Did it have to lead to that? Did it really have to lead to that? Like, ma'am, sir, really? Did it really have to lead to that? You calling authorities on me when the person could just left willingly. Like, you're just trying to put on a show for what? To prove a point to who? You're only playing in your own face when you just did that. Respectfully. You know, it's unfortunate that some people are dealt an unfair share hand. But you know what? It's a lesson. It's a lesson to show you at the end of the day what type of people you have to deal with in this world. And I say that respectfully, because your first teacher is your parent. Your first teacher is your parent. So if your parent failed you, you can already know what you about to expect from this world at the end of the day. You can't trust nobody. It allows you to see that you cannot trust nobody if your parent is moving the way they're moving at the end of the day. Because if you can move like that, the next person could hurt me too, just like you trying to hurt me. Respectfully. And it's unfortunate that a person has to think like that. But it's true. If my own parent can allow me to feel unworthy of myself, or they can disrespect me when they feel like it at the end of the day, or try to take control over the narrative of my life, and try to psych me out of my fucking freedom at the end of the day, or my thought process, that's dangerous. That shit is dangerous. Yes, it is. It's dangerous. I said what I said, and I meant what the fuck I said. It's dangerous. You know, it's unfortunate that some people were dealt an unfair share hand where, you know, dealing with parents that are jealous of you. And it's so funny how at one point in time, you know, people didn't understand it. Like, how? How could it be possible? That's your parent. How could it be possible? It's your parent. What you mean it's your parent? So fucking what? It's a human being at the end of the day. Everybody got fucking emotions. You know how that parent really feel at the end of the day? And they put it on their own self? Just like compared to a stranger in the street who has kids. Who doesn't want their kids? Who wants to go spread their wings and fly and do what the fuck they want to do? They can't because they have kids. Think about it. It's not hard to think about. But just think about it a little bit. Just think about it. When you become a parent, you sacrifice for your kids, right? But you still got to put yourself first within your process of putting your kids first as well. And I say that respectfully because you have to have balance. And if you don't have balance to manage that bond, it's not going to make sense. People do it every day. It's called balance. It's called balance. That's why, you know, before people have babies, they need to have fucking therapy because it needs to be made sense of as to what you're about to experience and what's about to happen to your ass. Because it's uncomfortable and it's disrespectful for a child to be brought up in a household where at the end of the day, this parent already done endured trauma. This person that already endured abandonment issues as a child. So now that they having fucking kids at the end of the day, they're fucking projecting their energy on that child. When that child is innocent. That child is fucking innocent. Like, you know, somebody sucking out of your fucking thought process at the end of the day. Lying to you. Because it sounds good for the moment at the end of the day. But then they got to cover up that lie to cover up that lie. To make it make sense so it can sound good. But the mask is already off. Because you know why? You already know who you're dealing with. Everybody else don't know who you dealing with, but you. And that's the scary part. Only you know who you fucking dealing with. You could tell motherfuckers all day long, my folks is like this, my folks is like that, my folks is like that. Not to bash them, but yo, this is what the fuck I'm experiencing. Regardless to what you done just did, especially if you didn't have malicious intentions to bring harm towards anybody, it should be no reason why a mother and daughter should be knuckling up, blood's being drawn, and that child is just standing there defenseless. That child standing there defenseless. Why? Because that person that's fighting that child has common sense to know, you know what? I'm not going to put my fucking hands on you. I'm not going to hit you back. You're my parent. You're not a stranger in the street. I'm not competing with you. What's wrong with you? And then for somebody to come to your job, a place where you work at, where you make your money at, and don't nobody do shit for you at the end of the day, and they want to do is talk down on you at the end of the day, get the fuck out of their crib, but they come to your place of where you work at the end of the day to fight you? Oh, okay. So you really don't give a fuck about my life. You don't give a fuck about my life. It's the type of shit that really happened in real life. It's disturbing. It's mad disturbing. Where's the women power at? Fuck, take that mask off. Because at the end of the day, you gotta be real with yourself. Fuck all that weird bird ass shit at the end of the day. You gotta be real with yourself. And then the first thing somebody wanna say is, that's the past, that's the past, that's the past. Of course, we know it's the past. But you know what's so funny though? You saying it's the past, or then you saying that you don't remember that happening because you don't want to talk about it because it's uncomfortable for you to replay that music in your head. It's a thought process like, damn, I really was like that. You was. You damn right. That's how you was. Yep. Or you could be minding your business or whatever the case may be, regardless if you a child or you an adult. If you have one of those parents and you know, you know. That would sit there and try to brainwash you. Try to psych you out of your fucking thought process. And then you sitting there like, yo, did you just fucking try to play with my fucking head, you fucking weirdo? Respectfully, like, it's just the thought process for me. Because it's true. There are parents who are narcissists. There are parents who are narcissists. It's true. It is what it is. It's unhealthy. Yes, it's unhealthy. You know what's so funny? To those parents that are narcissists, right? You know, when that child becomes a certain age, like, they outgrow that parent. Not because they want to, but they have to. They have to. Because it's too toxic. It's too toxic for anybody to ever understand. Because you know why? It's a mask on in front of that parent's face to the world. But that mask is off in front of that child. Because that child knows who they're dealing with. No disrespect, shape or form. But it's disgusting and it's disturbing to see a mother physically fist fighting her child. Regardless if it's a teenage early ages, teenage years, to her adult age. If you feel like you gotta put your hands on somebody at the end of the day, you don't need to be around them. Because at the end of the day, they're not a fucking punching bag. They're not a punching bag. And then, you know what's so crazy? It's the thought process for me. You know how when you was punching that child in the head, or when you was punching that child in the face, you was punching that child in the mouth and all that, you know, hitting them in places where you could have really hurt them. You could have killed them. No disrespect. Hitting them in places that you really could have hurt them. Only to reevaluate yourself like, yo, you see how time bypasses? Now you don't have a bond with your child. All because you decided to move how you wanted to move. Because of your poor decisions. You expect that child to be around you after all they endured as a child into their adulthood with you? Not everybody's the same. And I say that respectfully. Not everybody's the same. Because you do have those adults who still stay around the narcissist parents, or the parents who try to psych them out of their thought process, use them, or whatever the case may be. Fool, cool. Everybody's different. But then you have the ones who know better, and who know how to respect themselves, who know how to value somebody's time, who knows how to honor somebody, and who has self-awareness. And who has self-awareness to understand at the end of the day, like, yo, I love myself enough to know at the end of the day, you are not healthy for me. You are not healthy for me. You're not healthy for me. This is what I wanted to say. You know, the same way you was punching that child in the face and in the head and stuff like that, and now you questioning them why they in an abusive relationship. You showed them that it was okay for you to put their fucking hands on them. That's why. And I say that respectfully. You showed them that it was okay for somebody to put their hands on them. You know, it's so crazy. A person will scream all day long and say, I don't know where they get that shit from. I didn't have nobody abuse me. Okay. Once you allow your child to feel like something is okay, or once you allow your child to see something, and you don't know what they train the thought or their thought process is at the end of the day, as to what the fuck you just did when you punched them in the head. They think it's normal for somebody to put their fucking hands on them. They thought it was normal because that was their norm. No disrespect. You know, just because somebody gave up on you, don't give up on yourself. Just because someone overlooked you, don't give up on yourself. Your life matters. Be patient with yourself. Be kind to yourself. You are genuinely loved by all the right people. You are genuinely respected by all the right people. And you deserve to be treated with respect, with no malicious intention to bring harm towards yourself or anyone else. Never allow someone to psych of your thought process because they're miserable. Never allow someone to psych of your freedom because they're miserable. Never allow someone to psych of your thought process because you genuinely love yourself in a healthy way because they're miserable. Your life matters. Your life matters. Your life matters. Your life matters. I'm sorry you had to endure that. It's unacceptable. And I hope one day that you heal the way you need to deserve to heal. Because it's unfair that your peace was taken from you. And you have to relearn yourself all over again. All over again. But you know what? Everything happens for a reason. God didn't allow you to go through them situations for no reason. Not for you not to be strong for yourself. To show up for yourself today. To allow you to see, you know what? I am brave. I am a strong king. I'm a strong queen. Regardless to what parents I were given, you know what? I want to be the best self-vision of myself. And allow them to see at the end of the day, the thought process of me, how they felt about me, they could keep that. They could keep that energy. They could keep it. It's not worth it. But allow them to see at the end of the day, they raise somebody to become a smart, independent, successful person. Respect. Be patient with yourself. Be kind to yourself. I'll talk to you guys soon in the next video. I hope you have a good week ahead of you. Be safe. Be patient with yourself. Be kind to your neighbor. Respect. Love yourself. Love yourself. Love yourself. Respect. Now your genuine love. Respect.